focus stacking on a tablet. No PC, no Photoshop. I wanted to find out whether the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra could handle macro photography end to end. The answer's a little more complicated than I expected.
That's a single photograph. Well, technically it's about 40, but we'll get to that. So if you've seen my previous video where I spend a couple of days walking around the woods in Wales, and I've had some deeply questionable fungus, you'll know that I've been trying to get into sort of macro focus and focus stacking. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it somewhere up here if you're interested in seeing it. So today we're going to do something a little bit more controlled. Well, we're in the studio / podcast room, whatever this is, and we've got a watch face as our subject here, and we've got the Z6 III and we've got the Sigma 105, the same lens from that previous video, on the Z6 III. We've also got proper lighting, although we're going to have to rejig it a little bit to light this face. But here's the twist. I'm going to shoot everything on the Nikon, same as last time, but this time I'm going to try and edit everything on this Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. So we're going to do it without a PC or Photoshop. We're going to look into what the compromises might be and find out if it's a viable workflow, because in my previous videos I've said, you know, you can do a lot of just normal general photography with these cameras on this device, editing and so on, but macro was one thing I was not sure about. Right, so just a quick explainer in case you're not familiar with focus stacking and, you know, why it is even a thing. Because if you're new to macro, this might seem a bit mad. When you're really close to a subject, we're talking 1:1 magnification in terms of this lens. The depth of field is basically nothing. I'll put one frame on screen now so you can get a feel for like how much of the watch face is actually in focus. It's hardly anything. You know, only certain aspects will be really sharp, but the rest of the watch face will be completely just out of focus. You won't be able to see any detail or texture. And that's wide open, but even stopping down you have a similar problem. But also if you stop down loads you get into problems with diffraction, but that's outside of my wheelhouse in terms of trying to explain that one. So what focus stacking does, it takes a set of images, and today we're going to try 40, where each frame has its focus shifted slightly. We'll start at the back of the image and we'll shift through the image one by one. Then you merge all 40 frames together into one image. And the software or the service you use figures out which bit of each of the images is in focus and then layers all of the in focus sections together into that one image. The result in theory is sharpness all the way through the frame, in theory. So just like the original Z6, the Z6 III has got focus shift shooting in it. The good thing with that is instead of manually focus shifting by nudging the focus ring just a little bit at a time, you don't have to nudge the camera. You don't have to risk nudging the camera, that is. So you just set your shot up, program it to go, press go, wait for it to finish. Now I was going to hook the HDMI out of this into my other phone to try and record the EVF, but the thing is the EVF blacks out when you're shooting in focus shift shooting, so it's not really going to be worth it. Right, so let's get this set up and take the shot. Quick aside, most of the people that are watching this video right now are not subscribed, which is completely fine, but if you're enjoying this video you might enjoy the others as well, so it's completely free. Just hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified when something new comes up. Alright, back to the video.
So while we watch this time lapse here of me attempting to do the capture the focus stack of this object. Now I did do some other focus stacks. I didn't capture them at this point in time. It took a few goes though to actually sit there and figure out which was the step width that would work correctly. When I did the stuff in the woods, a step width of 3 worked best. This I think it was about 7. 10 was too wide, 7 was about right. And for the next bit of the video, there was a bit of user error, and I didn't capture the screen recording, and the camera also wasn't running. Now I tried to export TIFFs for the highest quality to use the focus stacking tool online. Didn't work, so we had to revert to exporting additional JPEGs.
Looks like we've got a minor problem here. And I think the TIFF output is possibly a little too on the large side. So we're gonna try it again with JPEGs. Yeah, that was nearly 4.5 gigabytes of images. These images are coming out more like 13, 14 megabytes a piece. So hopefully the website likes that a little bit more. So we're already getting to see some of the sort of compromises here, I think. Trying to do the whole process on a tablet operating system. 60 JPEGs exported in about 4 minutes, thereabouts. Now, can we get a better result now using smaller files? I'm going to use the trusty CX File Explorer for this. Well, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, we get to choose which one. So the reference one is the one which has the most in. So we're just going to choose again middle of the pack. We've not done this before, so let's just try this one. And we'll click stack and we'll see what happens. So let's just go for it. Stack in progress. Who knows? This might take a little while. In this process, it's taken quite a while to mess about with this, to figure out and test the settings, so much so that the batteries have died on 2 of my accent lights in the back there. I'm not sure what the runtime of those are, but if I just check. Actually, yeah, we've been at this a little while. Thoughts and prayers for my the amount of footage I'm going to edit through for this. I'm really interested to see how this comes out, because as I said, there's detail on the back of the face, but there's also the detail in this mold, which is creeping its way across the watch face. It's going to be interesting to see how that comes out. Oh, it's taken so long, my fill light's dead now, so you just get the heavily contrasted key light. God, good lord. Well, it's finished. The preview looks kind of horrible. I'm just clicking the download button. Ooh, that's pretty rough. There's a lot of ghosting in this. I'll put it on screen. There's a lot of ghosting. There's ghosting at the front, the bottom here of the image. There's ghosting in the font towards the top of the frame as well, and the hands. All in all, there's a bit of sharpness around the center and left of the frame, but that's about it. So the next question is, right, we're going to try the beta method, and we're going to try and restack. So it's now attempting a restack, and we'll come back when that's finished. We won't. I'm literally getting up just to pause the camera, and it just crashed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo this now with the beta method, just to see if that does make a difference. But I can't say that I'm particularly optimistic. All right, so this has not quite been the experience that I expected. Part of that is I did a bunch of research before making this video just to try and find out what resources will be available on Android in order to focus stack these images. Now, that research, obviously any modern research these days, even if you turn to Google and start browsing threads, Reddit threads, you will be presented with the Google AI overview. Tried using some AI tools just to get a breakdown of all of the different tools that could do focus stacking. Now, I tried 2 Android apps. One is the Eagle focus stacking app, and another one was like Photo R3, something like that. Now, the Eagle photo stacking app was actually more for astrophotography. So that cost $9.99. That's been refunded. The other one is more like a Photoshop type tool, which I was really hoping, because other people have had success with it. However, I was not able to successfully import a stack of JPEGs out of this camera into that application. So the 2 main Android apps that I'm aware of were non-functional. Now, the other thing is, you know, that we're in a second day now, we're in a different day. There's been several hours of footage which I'm going to discard to save you guys some time. And this is the situation as it is. Now, in the past, when I've done focus stacking with macro shooting, I've used Adobe Lightroom followed by Adobe Photoshop. So that would be bringing in the entire stack into Photoshop in layers, aligning and then auto blending, and then adjusting the mask as necessary. On Android, you do not have that functionality in the Android Photoshop app. Instead, the one functional way that I can see to do it right as of this day in March 2026 is a website called PhotoStackingOnline. And the process is, you know, again, you would export your stack, import them into the website, which you need to have ads on, and there's a lot of ads. And then you will then choose one of 2 modes, standard or beta, for the alignment and stacking, and then process it, wait 5 minutes or so, and you will get a result. Now, that result is highly dependent on your subject. So let's dig into it. Right, so we're on a screen share now. So first, I just want to, we'll just show through the timeline here, the photo stack. So if I, actually, let's full screen this for now. Okay. So as you can see, this is a stack of a watch face. The other thing we've got to look at as well is a circuit board, which is from a mini disc player. And we've got a mask, an opera mask, which I accidentally stopped the photo stack a little too early. And we've got some Samsung earbuds, the new ones that have just come out, the Galaxy Buds Pro 4s. So you can see just a little preview of how the stacks sort of look there just by skimming through them here. The buds and the circuit, now the circuit board I actually only did a 45 image stack. The watch I did a 60 image stack, 40 images on the opera mask and 60 images on the watch face. Now, here is the problem. So, problem number 1. Now this here, what you're looking at, is the standard stacking out of the PhotoStackingOnline. As you can see, there's a lot of ghosting. is pretty bad. Now, one of the reasons for this might be that this is quite a challenging image to stack. The reason for that is you have all the detail in the background, but you also have this kind of, it's fungus or mold, it's something along the watch face, and you can kind of see it has actually brought out the detail in a lot of the way that's like spidering across the glass, which is kind of interesting. But it's then messed up on certain other bits where it's just kind of all over the place. So the standard version does say on the website that it doesn't always work, so we had to do a second stack. Now the second stack, it does have some ghosting still a little bit. It's not perfect, but overall the result is a lot better. Now, can I get this side by side? So if we just zoom in a little bit, compare these two. So one is obviously the photo stack result. One is just one of the actual pictures. I mean, it has worked to an extent, but not perfectly. Now, what we could compare now though is the result of the focus stack. But here's the thing, if we compare now, what you're looking at on the left hand side is from PhotoStackingOnline.com. On the right hand side is just a quick attempt in Photoshop using the same files. Straight away, although there are some issues with the masks on Photoshop, this was a very quickly done thing. The result is significantly better. I mean, it is a challenging one with the fact that there's this fungus on the crystal, but if I just zoom in a little bit here, the clarity is just so much better. Even though there are problems with the mask on both of them, the result in Photoshop is significantly better. So let's look at another example that works maybe slightly better. So this was a much simpler photo stack to do. It is the circuit board from a media display that isn't working correctly, and I'm having a look to see, I need to potentially 3D print a part to make the buttons work correctly again. And actually, this is the result from PhotoStackingOnline.com, and it's pretty good. The thing about this is it's just a nice flat plane, fairly straightforward. No weird kind of focusing in front and behind, you know, in the same part of the image. And it worked quite well. Here's just a quick little look at the sort of interface where I've added the stacks in, you choose a reference, and it actually did pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with this. Now, let's compare this side by side with the Photoshop result. So if we just zoom in to this area here. Again, this is using the same source files, and it is definitely clearer on Photoshop. There's definitely more detail, like in the solder up on the right hand side. Let's see that. Yeah, there's definitely more detail in the Photoshop version. The PhotoStackingOnline version is serviceable, but you would have to live with knowing that you're leaving quite a lot of detail on the table by doing it on the website version, when you could go to a computer and do it with Photoshop and get a much better result. So here's the problem now. The opera mask, which is here, something my missus wife, she's very much into opera and stuff. Photoshop one on the right, I heavily overexposed it in the edit, but you can actually go in and see there's some nice detail here on the little pieces of metal. Oh, it freaked out on the website version. There's a little bit of detail going on this sort of rhinestone type things. It really didn't like it. I did two versions and it went even crazier. Like, you can kind of see some information in the little metal, like curled up piece of metal, but that did not work at all. So a more complicated stack. It was definitely more three-dimensional. So this was more going like, I had the mask at an angle and it needed to go kind of like really deep in the focus. The other next one is, so I tried doing, it looks really crisp. So on the PhotoStackingOnline, the earbuds, yeah, that's not a serviceable image. It's not a usable image at all. Whereas the Photoshop one, let's just go full screen on this, because the other one is, yeah. There's tons of detail here in the kind of brushing of the, is that brushed aluminium on the earbuds? There's some slight problems on the kind of left of frame here with, you know, the mask. I potentially could have redone the shot. I probably need to go deeper into the frame. I could have edited the mask a little bit more, because you have a lot more control over doing it in Photoshop. But, you know, even from just minimal effort, this is actually quite a nice result. So what's the situation then? It's not impossible to do focus stacking on Android, but I'm not sure I would recommend it. If it's the only device that you have, then you could spend some time figuring out which compositions work best with PhotoStackingOnline.com. Things like that circuit board, where it was relatively one flat plane, works really well. Although the quality was a little bit lower than I would hope, definitely worse than Photoshop. But then some of the other more, I mean, even then, you know, the image of the buds, it was just the image of these Buds 4 Pro, and it freaked out, and I'm not sure why. So the inconsistency straight away, given, you know,
you've got to spend the time importing the pictures into Lightroom, getting the edit right, exporting them, uploading them to the website, waiting 5 or more minutes for them to process, only to get a result that isn't great. And then you have to watch a million adverts in the meanwhile. So I did wonder before going into this whether this might be the case. But I'm really interested to hear if you've got this far into this video and you're very interested in macro photography and you have one of these devices, like an Android device, have you found a workflow that works for focus stacking, like potentially 60 or more images in a program on device and actually getting good results and not crashing? And I say that because can you do it with full resolution images without the application crashing? Because one of the Android apps I tried, it could get about 50 images in and it would crash, which means you can't get the full stack, at the full resolution, the full quality. And you know, if you're doing macro photo stacking, you want quality, right? Isn't that the reason why you're doing it? You want to get all the nice fine details. So it really does matter, I think. So it's not necessarily the outcome that I was looking for. I was concerned that this might be a task that I still need a computer for. And it's worth noting as well, when I was doing the stacks in Photoshop on my main desktop, I was using well over 30 gigs of RAM in Photoshop, just for Photoshop alone, which is another consideration if you're thinking about upgrading your computer these days, and 64 gigabytes of RAM is very expensive. I was thinking about 48 gigabytes, but with all of my other applications opened, I was over 50. So anyway, I hope this video has been interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.